Wow. Wow. For the first time in 2025, the Rangers have swept a road series. And we are here to talk about it and celebrate it with you. Oh, my goodness. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast. John Radigan, Jeff Wilson. Jeff, did you break out a cold one?
I've got one. There we go. I'm even winning the win column shirt, John. Win column shirt.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. There was a time during this game when I thought maybe that the cold beer was going to be to drown my sorrows about this ridiculous umpire. Chris Guccione might be the worst we've seen. Both ways. He was awful.
Yeah, both ways.
But that's not the story of this game, as frustrating as he was, especially at the end when he was trying to squeeze the Rangers out, because the Rangers hold on to win it and sweep the Athletics. And who'd have thunk it, Jeff, that we were talking after the conversation that you were a part of with Jock Peterson at the end of the homestand, and he said, we've got to go 5-1 or 6-0 on this next road trip. And we thought, oh, it's a tall order for a team that, that has had a good road record. And lo and behold, they're off to a heck of a start. They sweep the series.
Yeah, and really, today's game got a little closer than it needed to be, but 3 really good wins. It was great offense throughout. I think they've scored 5 runs or more all in all 3 games, and you can go back to the last 5 games. I believe it's the case. Look, this is the Rangers have gone 8-1 in their last 9 games. This is the same what they did coming out of the All-Star break at home. Yep. They're not in as good a position as they were then. They're 4 games over 500 now. They're 2.5 games out in the wild card now. They're now the team closest to the Mariners for the 3rd wild card spot, and they've moved within 4.5 games in the AL West. And they have 6 games to go against the Astros. So I'm saying there's a chance. As improbable as it is, with the people who are on the injured list, and with the Rangers' an uncanny ability to not know how to handle prosperity, all of a sudden, once again, they've got everybody's hopes up. And, I think it's a little more tempered now because of who is not with the team, who is injured, and those are just huge things to overcome. But by God, they're right there. They're absolutely right there.
Yeah, it's really amazing. It is the backs against the wall mentality. And when we left on Thursday from the show, you were telling me, wow, there's a Rangers Zoom call at 3:00. I wonder what that's all about. We didn't have any idea. Then you text me that it's an appendectomy for one Corey Seager. I'm like, okay. Like, we thought the news, at the beginning of the homestand was it. And then we thought, okay, well, Nathan Eovaldi, that's it. And then you think, okay, well, Corey Seager, and I know he's not out for the year, but that's it. And that's not it. These guys, and what's great to see, Jeff, is that guys who we were hoping to and expecting to hit, Adolis Garcia, Josh Young, Jock Peterson, these are the guys getting it done.
Yeah, and I tried to do some research that apparently Corey Seager was doing about how soon guys can come back from appendicitis, and I see 4 to 6 weeks, so 4 weeks short end. So that's last week. Now, I mean, the good thing with appendicitis and appendectomies this day is they do it laparoscopically. They don't have to slice open your belly, so they can just put three little holes in you and get it out. And so you don't have the giant incision to worry about and all that stuff. But it still seems kind of improbable that he'll be back. I don't want to put anything past him. I hope he is. And if he is, I hope he's effective when he does come back. But it just seems hard to believe. So, yes, the Rangers need Jock Peterson and Adolis Garcia and Josh Young to deliver. And by God, they're doing that. I didn't write down, I haven't written down Jock's numbers of late, but if you look at Josh Young, I just pulled my other ear out here. If you look at Josh Young, he went 8 for 14 in this series. That's a 571 average. He's batting .500 during his 8-game winning streak with 2 homers and 8 RBIs. Adolis is 14 for 35 in his past 8 games. All since coming off the injured list. That's a 412 batting average. White Langford's been on base 20 straight games. He needed to get going. All right. And a guy who needed to get going, Josh Smith, reached base 5 times today. So there's some positive momentum. And that doesn't mention Jock Peterson, who hit the 2-run homer today, hit the 3-run homer in the 20 to 3 game. It's like, man, better late than never. Yes. If you're a glass half full guy, or why couldn't this happen sooner if you're glass half empty? But it's happening at a time when the Rangers desperately need it, because there's no Evan Carter, there's no Marcus Semien, and now there's no Corey Seager. That's trouble. And this team needed this months ago. They're getting it now. And yeah, they're right back on the verge of contention. It looks like John is having a little technical difficulty, and that's fine. The team was able to give Jacob deGrom a nice lead. I like deGrom today. It wasn't as efficient as he would have liked, but it was still 79 pitches in 5 innings. Which is just over the magical 15 pitches per inning mark. And they took him out after 5. It was 5-0. He wasn't really having any troubles. He had long innings in the first and third. I thought that yes, they could have kept him in, and maybe if it's 3-0, they keep him in. But again, they're also watching these innings and where he's been, and by God, when he's at 26 starts, 150 innings, again, I think he's gone more than anybody ever thought he would this season, and so they have to take advantage of any little opportunity they get. And so up 5-0, they decided to go to the bullpen. Hey, Luis Crivello was great. And it got to 8-0 when they went on to Caleb Bosley, and then it got out of hand. So maybe Caleb really only needs to pitch when it's at least 8-0. Either way, whether the Rangers are winning or losing. But and unfortunately, they had to use Sean Armstrong, and they had to use Phil Maton. I doubt Maton is able to pitch tomorrow. He threw a bunch of pitches in that last inning. So, but it's a win, and it's a 5th straight win, and it's a 3-0 record in a road series. And again, these guys entered the series better than only the White Sox, Rockies, and Pirates on the road. 3 teams you never want to be associated with, at least present day. And now here are the Rangers looking great. They're one of the hottest teams in baseball. Dadgum, Joe.
Oh, you gosh, you're losing me again.
I can hear you. We just can't see you. There you are. Give your computer a beer. Okay. See what happens.
Yeah, all right. Let's see if I can talk again. I keep having strange audio from you too. But what's really great is, as you mentioned, all these guys coming through. You got Wyatt Langford with a 20-game on-base streak. You've got Josh Young now with 4 straight multi-hit games including 3 in a row with 3 hits. It's just really amazing to see these guys come through at such an important time. We'll talk a lot more later on in the program about the challenge ahead, which is first Arizona becoming much more of a challenge than we necessarily thought they might be. They've been playing some pretty good baseball. We'll get to that later on in the program, but yeah, for now we can just celebrate the fact that these guys are absolutely performing in a way that, Jeff, we thought would be complementary, right? We thought they would be complementing the Corey Seagers and the Marcus Simeons of the world. And as it is, these guys, again, particularly Wyatt and Josh and Jock Peterson and Adolis, these guys are carrying the load.
Yeah, and let's keep in mind that the last two series wins were against the Angels and the Athletics, who aren't particularly good. These aren't great teams, but the Rangers, with the exception of the opener against the Angels, have looked like a contender and done what they're supposed to do by just stomping on them and beating them in every facet. The A's are a bad defensive team. They're scary offensively. They've got a lot of good young bats, but for the most part, they were held in check. Leiter did a nice job. Kelly did a nice job. DeGrom did a really good job, especially considering DeGrom's troubles with the long ball all season. So, the starting pitching is still doing its thing, and that's what has to carry him against the Diamondbacks tomorrow through Wednesday. The Diamondbacks can hit. That's something that the Rangers saw just earlier this month. We're still in August, so yeah, earlier this month, a disappointing series for sure. And kind of like, that was the start of, or a continuation after the Philly series, then the Diamondbacks, and they went on the road, and that was kind of like, all right, they're done, but and look, the deck is still stacked against them as far as the schedule. That's ahead with the Diamondbacks, the Astros, the Brewers, the Mets, the Astros. Okay, these are not 4 or 5 easy series coming up. They'll have to really play well. But again, but as far as how do they sustain it? Like Michael Hellman, who's had a real nice few days, but he can't. The track record, and again, he's a rookie, but you would think Michael Hellman's can't do for the Rangers what a healthy Evan Carter could. I do wonder though if Marcus Simeon being injured, it's kind of ignited some energy with Duran in there, and not as good a defender as Marcus. Doesn't have the power Marcus has, but he's had a nice little run here in August. Seager's the big one, of course. The Rangers are likely to get Jake Berger back soon, maybe as soon as today, or not today, tomorrow. Chris Martin on the bullpen side should be able to come back. Rosters expand tomorrow, so that means that the Rangers will just activate those guys. There will be no corresponding moves. It'll just be adding those 2 guys from the injured list. And really, there's not anybody from AAA to come up who's going to help. Even if Berger's not ready to go tomorrow, I don't think the Rangers would just call up a guy for a day or two. I think that they'd be just fine playing with what they got. But anyway, it is going to get a little bit better even for the Rangers. And so, you're into the last month. You're going to be playing meaningful games. You're above 500. You're sniffing the wild card really strongly. You're getting a little bit of a whiff on the division lead. It seems improbable, just based on the first 5 months of evidence, plus the injuries. But this is baseball, man, and you never know what you're going to get.
No, and again, the 2023 run seemed improbable too. And I'll tell you what else seemed improbable was that the Rangers would finish this month 500, which they do officially as of the win today. The way they started, and Jeff, you talked about those horrible series they had at the beginning of the month of August. It was like there was no way they would finish with a, winning or even an even record. And with the win today, they get to 500 for the month.
Yeah, and they had a nice July. And again, they're back above 500, and they can't be taken lightly. You can't. I don't think anybody has taken them lightly because of their pitching prowess. But I do think that you'd seen these pitchers, run of the mill pitchers, or young guys as 2 or 3 starts into their career having success against the Rangers. They aren't letting that happen now. They recognize, for instance, that JT Ginn has no business beating them. He was today's starter for the A's.
Right.
He was a starting pitcher in one of the wins at Sacramento in April, and the Rangers kind of made him look like a dadgum Cy Young candidate. So they didn't do that today. They jumped on him. Now he only allowed 3 runs in 6 innings, but they did some damage against him. They did what they had to do yesterday against the Barnett kid who was making his MLB debut.
Right.
Take care of business against this guy. So you see them making pitchers come to them. The chase is way down. The walks are up. You're seeing them in advantage counts really for the first time all season collectively as a unit. When you're ahead in the count, good things happen. And whether it's a sacrifice fly, that's a really good thing. If you're ahead in the count 3-1 with a runner at third and less than 2 outs, and you hit a fly ball deep enough to score them, that's great. And that's what was missing with this offense for so long. And you feel better that it's not anymore. I don't necessarily feel like, hey, everything's solved. This team's off to the playoffs. But you're awfully darn encouraged about the offense right now.
There's some real encouraging signs. We'll talk more about a lot of those. We dive deeper into the pitching performance of Jacob deGrom tonight, and talk a little bit too about the add-ons, as Jared and David Murphy were calling them, those runs that the Rangers have been scoring, which today anyway, as it turns out, they really needed. We talk about all that next. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast. Oh, and it's time for us to remind you that with college football here in particular, we want you to get your branded bill. These type of bills, the bills on a hat, whether you need a snapback or a trucker or a fitted or a beanie or a tee, Branded Bills has you covered. If you're looking for gear to make your brand stand apart from the crowd, well, Branded Bills is the place to go. They've got the best custom headwear. You start an order, their dedicated team helps you create the exact custom apparel that you want. They, of course, have that partnership with 40 colleges as part of their campus collection. That includes TCU, Texas Tech. What a big win the Red Raiders had yesterday. And Texas, which did not have a big win yesterday. But in any event, go to brandedbills.com. Use the code BBDLLS. That's Branded Bills, DLLS. You'll get 15% off your first order at Branded Bills.
Yeah, and college football is upon us. NFL starts Thursday with the Micah Parsonless Cowboys taking the field against the Eagles. And Prize Picks, if you want some action in the state of Texas, is the place to go. The #1 daily fantasy picks outlet in the world. I mean, they're #1. And you want to avail yourself to them. prizepicks.com/DLLS. You'll get a $50 bonus with your first $5 bet. I took advantage of the opportunity to make some lineups against for college football. Didn't go real well, I'll be honest, but that's fine. I'm not betting the farm. Remember, you can bet as little as $1. It's 2 to 6 players. Will they have more or less than a particular stat? And it's just fun. That's all it is. There's no reason for me to be watching the Sam Houston State game against against UNLV. But by God, I needed their quarterback to score a rushing touchdown, and he did. So way to go, Bearcats. Ended up losing the game, but you helped me actually get a winning lineup. So prizepicks.com/DLLS. $5. Bet $5, get a $50 bonus.
You know what else is fun is watching Jacob deGrom pitch. It's something you just can't tire of. I swear to you, I tweeted about that Carlos Cortez at bat. It was 3 pitches. Cortez a lefty. One is right on the inside corner, and thankfully, even though it was close to the corner, close to the edge, it was called a strike. Then one on the outside corner, also called a strike. And then one to change up right, diving right through the bottom of the zone, called strike 3. Cortez out on, he didn't even swing the bat. 3 straight pitches, all perfectly placed, and he's out of there. And that kind of precision, Jeff, is just, it's a beautiful thing, and it really is fun to watch when Jacob has it going like that.
Yeah, and nobody does it better, right? Nobody in baseball does it
Yeah.
better than Jacob deGrom when he's on.
Yeah.
And that bat in particular, he was on really throughout. I mean, even the walk he issued to Lawrence Butler, I'm pretty sure Butler thought he had struck out on the 3-2 pitch.
Yeah,
and just
I agree.
He couldn't do anything with it. It was a 93-mile-per-hour changeup that was maybe half a ball off the plate. Gucci only got it right, but it was just really, really good stuff. And Jacob has had trouble with lefties, especially in the home runs. And Butler's a left-handed batter, but I thought he was aggressive with just about everybody today. But it's fun to watch when this guy's on. And again, even when he's not on, it's still usually really good. I thought the velocity was down a little bit today, so I wonder if maybe he was dealing with some mechanical issues, though it didn't seem like it. I wonder if maybe the heat apparently is around 100 degrees. Maybe he was trying to conserve some energy there. But his 98 is usually gonna do just fine. He doesn't need to take it up to 100. He has it when he wants it. If he needs it, I guess he didn't need it today. But yeah, but the innings thing is now kind of an issue. We're into the final month. All right, today is August 31st. Tomorrow, September 1st. And I'm telling you, I didn't expect him to go this far. And I know there are Rangers officials who did not expect him to get this far, to have this many innings, to not have any issues along the way, to just keep taking the ball time after time. They had to take it from him. All right, they had to take it from him on the last road trip. That's how durable and how good he has felt this year. So he's now up to 150 50 and 1/3 innings. All right, he's made 26 starts. It's just so good to see for the Rangers to be in this position with him, and for him to be in this position. It's hard work coming back from Tommy John, which he knew. This was number 2, and for him to be out there doing what he's doing, to have the sub-3 ERA that he has, to just look like a guy who, has won a couple Cy Youngs. He's not going to win one this year, but this guy's pretty special. But now the Rangers are at the tricky part of it. How are they going to manage his innings? If 170, let's say, is in their head, how are they going to get him through the next 5 starts? And if they make the postseason, how are they going to handle it then? I mean, I think at that point it's and like, let's say he's ready for the last series of the year. Let's say it means something against the Guardians. If Jacob deGrom's on the mound, you just let him go. All right, just let him go. I mean, it's playoff time now, and I know he's got 2 more years on the contract. But if I'm the Rangers, I understand the tightrope they're walking, but they gotta let him go a little further, I think.
Yeah, I thought they might today, actually, since he was only not even, I think he was at 79 or 80 pitches, and I thought, they might give him the 6th inning today. I don't think it's unwise to have pulled him after 5, but I also thought, given the state of the bullpen, given the state of the fact that there are not any off days on the trip, and not any, okay, so maybe you just let him go another inning to give the bullpen one less inning of work today. It's fine because all's well that ends well. It didn't really hurt them. But to your point, 26 starts already. It would have been 27 if it was up to him. He didn't want to take that that start off when they skipped him. And he told us at the beginning of the year he wanted to make 25 to 30 starts. We thought he was crazy. And here he is, obviously on pace. I mean, especially if he had all 27 by now, he'd really be on pace. But yeah, he's on pace to make those 30 starts. His numbers against the A's are just silly in his career. He's got in 2025, he's got a 1.21 ERA with 28 strikeouts and 2 walks against the Athletics. I mean, so it's like the opposite of the Angels. Somehow the Angels, whether it's intel, inside information, or whatever it might be, the Angels have his number. By God, the Athletics do not.
Yeah, and nor should they. While a talented lineup that can hit the ball out of the ballpark, they're young.
Yeah,
and, they're susceptible to a guy who knows how to pitch. And today their lineup was missing Langoliers, one of the hottest hitters in all of baseball, at least on the power side since the All-Star break. And that's fine. Guys need days off too. But I think he also recognizes that the magnitude of the situation. He's pitched in the World Series. He's pitched in the postseason before. It was a long time ago, but still, it counts. He pitched 21, 22. I think the Mets made the postseason. So there's some recent flavor there. And keep in mind, he missed out on the World Series run. I know he made the 6 starts early in the season, but I bet that really ate at him. And he doesn't want to miss out this year. He wants to help the Rangers get there, and he's doing that. He's 11-6 with a 2.69 ERA, and it's just wonderful to see. And really, you're excited about the next 2 years because this is the comeback year. This is the recovery season. Next year there should be no leash. What's he going to be able to do then? And maybe he's known that he's going to have a short leash on certain starts. Maybe that's affected him some way. If he comes into next year no leash, just pitch like you always have when you're healthy, it could be something special. And but the next month is the big one for him. And again, if it's me, I recognize the investment and how much he means to future teams, but the present is pretty important too. And I'm stretching him an inning. If you're at 5, you're like, God, we should really take him out. Give him the 6th. It's not going to kill him. He's gotten this far. It's not like his elbow was just hanging on by a thread. It would have already snapped by now. Okay, he's fine. Let him go.
Yeah, and it's like you say, especially if these games get more important as we get down the stretch, and then certainly if the Rangers are able to make their way into the postseason, you've got to roll the dice. He'll have the entire off season to recover and recuperate and whatever, and so at that point, I think you're absolutely right. I'm 100% in agreement with you on that. The Rangers had lost 5 straight starts of Jacob deGrom's. Now, he'd only lost one of those games as the pitcher. He was a losing pitcher in only one of those, but they lost 5 in a row. Again, that speaks to the fact that we talked about how terribly they started the month as a team, because you go back, all of those starts were pretty much in August. So really nice to see him get the victory. Really nice to see the team be able to, again, put up. And because, again, all those starts, I'm sure Jacob was giving up most of them anyway. 2 runs, 3 runs at the most.
Right. Well, the Blue Jays start kind of sticks out. He pitched really well against them, and they ended up coughing that one up. And so, it's like, kind of throw your hands up, but you shouldn't lose 5 straight Jacob deGrom starts.
No.
You just shouldn't do it.
No.
And I think, 1 or 2 of those one was against the Angels. Where he gave up the 5 runs. Okay, I can understand that one a little bit, but my God, if Jacob deGrom starts 5 times, you should at least win 3, right?
Yes,
probably 4, but at least 3. So I think that you're going to go through the year, and obviously, like we talked about Thursday, you're going to look at the offense, you're going to look at the road record, but you can circle little things like that. How did you lose 5 straight Jacob DeGrom starts, for crying out loud?
Yes.
You know, and it's like Evaldi early couldn't get any run support. How many times did they lose games started by him that they shouldn't have lost? So, but again, you know, let's just look at what's happening right now. They gotta, when he starts the rest of the year, they can't lose.
Yep. That's it. That's exactly what's got to happen. The Rangers next go to Arizona. So we are going to talk about that team, which suddenly is playing quite well. And lo and behold, they too are in the wild card chase over in the National League. We'll talk about that next. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast. And Jeff, what do we got here?
Oh, I've got something. I thought I was going to do the second prize picks again, but I don't care. I'll do whatever.
Well, let's do
go ahead, John.
Let's do the Cowboys trip. That is the great opportunity you might have to go and join our crew in Las Vegas for a weekend, a great weekend of football activity and a Monday night football game, which will be the first that the Cowboys ever play against the Raiders. Will the Cowboys be any good this year? I don't know. Our crew knows better than I do. I do know this. They're going to be an attractive foe every time they face anybody, and it'll be really fun. So, and I know this: Clarence Hill, Jesse Holley, Jeff Kavanaugh. These guys are going to be really fun. You guys don't know John Anderson too well, but John Anderson, you'd have a great time traveling with these guys to Vegas. True Fan Travel is the group that takes care of this whole thing for us. We would like you to scan that QR code and get signed up for this trip. Cowboys against the Raiders, True Fan Travel with the full-on experience for you.
Yeah, and John, I was thrown off because when I looked at the top, it says that it's got prize picks listed twice. And I know we just did them in the last segment, but hey, I'll talk about prize picks. I don't have any problem with that. We mentioned the college football stuff. My phone's been blowing up because in my chat, my friend text string from high school is one giant Notre Dame fan, and right now they're facing the Fighting Miami Hurricanes, and it's gonna be a tight game. But you know, there were picks for that one with Jeremiah Love, the really, really talented running back. CJ Carr, the quarterback, kind of making it. I think it's his first career start with in college. And if I'm not mistaken, he's related to the old Michigan coach Lloyd Carr. But anyway, it's matchups like this every game. You can bet on him. Could have bet on the Carson Beck kid from the Georgia transfer, went to Miami. So I love college football. Looking forward to the Frogs tomorrow. Might have to make a lineup on them. And again, you can do it for as low as $1. My average is usually $3. But hey, that Josh Hoover can play. I guess I'm a little worried about the Bill Belichick defense, but I don't know about Bill Belichick as a recruiter just yet. And if you brought the girlfriend, that might have helped. But I have a feeling that Prize Picks will be on my agenda tomorrow. PrizePicks.com/DLS, $5 is all it takes to get a $50 bonus.
Hey, don't look now, but the Arizona Cardinals are playing some pretty good baseball right now.
Diamondbacks.
Cardinals.
You got football on your mind, baby.
Yeah, I do. The Diamondbacks are playing pretty good football or baseball. They're playing really well right now. They took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, and they took 2 out of 4 from the Milwaukee Brewers. These are pretty good teams right now. They did get walked off today by the Dodgers, but the point is they're playing well, and suddenly they are right in the thick of things in the wild card in the National League. They're not quite as thick, if you will, as the Rangers are, but they're thick right now. The Arizona Cardinals are oh boy, there's a bunch of teams right there. They're tied with the Cardinals at 5.5 back. 5 back is the Giants. 4 back are the Reds, and then the Mets have the last wild card spot. So anyway, point is they're only 5.5 back, and they feel like they got a shot, which I think adds intrigue, Jeff, to this series.
It does, and they sold at the trade deadline. That's how the Rangers ended up with Merrill Kelly. When you look at where their division, it's the Dodgers, it's the Padres, pretty good ball clubs. And now the Giants are on fire too. So the Giants have actually moved ahead of Los Diamondbacks in the West standings by half a game, which means they're half a game up in the wild card too. But the Diamondbacks hit the ball. They really do. They have a fun lineup. Fun if you're not facing them, if you're watching them, fun. Corbin Carroll's a dynamic player. Ketel Marte, you saw what he did to the Rangers the last series. Holy cow, that was pretty impressive stuff from him. And then Geraldo Perdomo, the shortstop, he's having a banger of a season. Lourdes Gurriel, he's always going to hit you 20. He's always going to be right there. Now, they took a obvious blow when they traded Suarez and Josh Naylor, who are both with the Mariners. But this team can do a lot. And offensively, it's the pitching where you hope to take advantage. But, you kind of look at the matchups. The Rangers are still looking for that starter on Tuesday. Hope it's Jake Latz. I think he deserves it. Patrick Corbin is going to be the starter in the opener, and he's coming off a great start. Jack Leiter to close things out, but Nelson, who the Rangers saw, he throws hard. He's a good little pitcher. This Kurzmat, don't know a lot about him, but the numbers look pretty shiny. And then Zach Gallen, who did pitch against the Rangers last time, and it's been a disappointing year for him. But he's 2 starts ago he struck out 13, so he's got the stuff. But you hope the Rangers are able to take advantage of some mistakes. The bullpen did not impress me. The Arizona bullpen did not impress me at all. So I think again, as we've said much of the year, Rangers have the pitching advantage. I know the matchup on tomorrow looks to favor the Diamondbacks, at least based on numbers and velocity and all that stuff. But hopefully Patrick Corbin struck on something with his pitch mix that he changed up a little bit. But yeah, this should be a tight series. I mean, again, Arizona's going to score some runs, and you gotta pitch the ball pretty well.
The Corbin start, that last Corbin start, that 8-inning affair, scoreless 8-inning affair. The first time he's done that and gone that far scoreless since 2019, which, by the way, was a pretty good year for him and his team that year.
Yeah.
That year, the Nationals won the World Series, and he was a huge, significant player in that. It was really fun to see him, as Jeff said, rebound from a few rougher anyway starts just prior to that one, but that one was fantastic. You can hope that Patrick Corbin responds similarly and follows that one up with another really good one. He surprised us with so many of those at the beginning of the year, and then suddenly it was not a surprise to see how well he was pitching. So anyway, it should be really, really fun to see if the Rangers, again, all they have to do, Jeff, is win the series, and the
Right.
and the 5 trip that Jock Peterson was calling for would be completed. But what the heck, they could sweep. I didn't think they'd sweep in Oakland or in Sacramento, so they could. It's a possibility.
It is. I think the key here is they can't be content. They can't be content with what they've just done. They have put themselves in a hole, and they're going to complete the climb out of it. Every game they have to enter it thinking we got to win this game, and they do. That's that's where we're at. We're in the last month, okay, down to the nitty gritty. I used to call it nut cutting time back before we had a podcast. But 24 games to go, and look, each one is meaningful. They all mean something. And again, you never know what's going to happen on any given day. The Rangers are going to need help along the way, right? Well, guess what they got today? They got a lot of help. Okay, the Tigers beat the Royals, so now the Rangers jumped the Royals. The Mariners did win, but they beat the Guardians, so that knocks the Guardians back a peg away from the Rangers. The Astros lost as the Angels went in there and won that game. So, a great day for the Rangers in terms of making up ground. I mean, a great day on a lot of different levels too. But those Mariners, they're right there, and you still have the Yankees and the Red Sox duking it out. They've opened up a 2.5 game margin on the Mariners, so it really looks like you're playing from that last wild card spot, which is fine. You get in the tournament and you never know what's going to happen. The Diamondbacks were the last team in the NL in 23, and look what happened for them. They went to the World Series. The Rangers would end up, at this rate, they would end up playing the division winner with the worst record, which is going to be the Astros or Mariners, or maybe the Rangers end up winning the division with the worst record and end up playing the Astros or the Mariners. It just seems like that one of those series is going to be West on West. And the Rangers, hey, like we've been saying all show, it doesn't seem probable with the injuries, but I mean, look at them now. I really thought, John, that this would have been the week when they would have been, you would have heard about maybe after the fact or as it happened, but guys had been put on waivers, trying to shed some salary, trying to move on from some guys, trying to get back under the CBT, but they can't do it. Especially with Seager down, they couldn't afford to expose Adolis Garcia to waivers, for instance. They need them. They're right here, and Chris Young is not going to give up, and so yeah, it's crazy. I really thought that we would be kind of eulogizing their season after this week, but we're not. We're talking hopefully and waiting to see what happens these next 3 games. But poor old John, the internet must not have made it to Waxahachie today, and that's fine. I always have plenty to say, but I know you guys. I haven't even looked in the comments yet today, guys. I apologize, Dan and our guy Misty. We appreciate you being here. Mike, appreciate that. But yeah, we thought that this was it. And yeah, some Mally news. He is throwing a rehab game Tuesday. Not sure to what extent he's going to get stretched out. So you may have a situation where he makes a couple rehab starts and then is deemed okay, and you see him start a game followed by Jake Latz or vice versa. It's that Evaldi spot that you got to worry about, and hopefully, something productive can come from it. It's just not going to happen on Tuesday, but Tuesday's significant. Okay, that lines up with Latz. Now it'll kind of get knocked askew because they're not going to just let Mally make one rehab start a week. I'd imagine if everything goes well Tuesday, he would start Sunday as well there in whichever affiliate's home. I think Round Rock is going to Albuquerque, so that's close enough. It's only about an hour and 20-minute flight. But I tell you what, if they're able to get him back, a guy who we honestly have forgotten about. I saw Sean's comment. Yeah, almost forgot about Mally. I forget about Mally all the time, but he's another one who you're going to be looking at. Look up, and there he is, maybe pitching in a meaningful game. So, gotta keep him in mind. Again, Chris Martin threw the other night on rehab. I bet he comes back tomorrow. Jake Berger was in Arizona today, hitting at the complex. They probably rounded up some young minor leaguers, maybe some recent draftees to throw live BP for him. Maybe they put together a simulating game so that he could run a little bit. But again, things are there's some up arrows on that injury report. They're not all down arrows. And if the Rangers are able to get Chris Martin back, that's a big deal. I know after he left, that live BP with the calf barking, Bruce Bochy, after he finished with us, was like, damn, Chris Martin coming back would be huge for this team. So now that he is coming back, he's another eighth inning, ninth inning option. And maybe they don't do it the first time back. Maybe they want to put him into a lower leverage situation. But I got to think that he's going to be, before things are all said and done here, if the Rangers continue to be in the hunt, that Chris Martin's going to be on the mound with games on the line. Okay, guys, we're going to come back for the last series here in a minute. We're going to actually 2 minutes. We're going to clean things up. There's a lot happening around the game of baseball, not just with the Texas Rangers. So stick around, and we will be back in 2 minutes. But hey, look at the screen. $36 football club intro offer to become a diehard. It's still live. It's still happening. Scan the QR code or go to our website, alldls.com. I'm going to guess that a lot of you are in the chat are diehards. We thank you for your loyalty. You probably just renewed. If you need any help with that, let us know. It's the best coverage around. I don't care. I'm biased, yes, but I'm also around. I see what's out there cooking. I see who's reporting on the various beats, and we got them beat. We got them beat. So, but beyond the diehard gets you on the paywall, but beyond that, gets you a free T-shirt, and it gets you 20% off our events, like that sweet trip to Las Vegas. There's been talk of baseball trips next season. We had one of the big wigs from Denver in town, and he was talking spring training. He was talking finding a site during the season for a trip where all of our teams in our markets might end up going to. With the Rangers in the American League, it certainly complicates things a little bit, but I think St. Louis, although it's during the week, I was looking at weekend games. That one's during the week, so we're gonna have to find a series though where we can all get together and have a good time. But become a diehard. That way you can take advantage of it. And yeah, $36. Good Lord, what a deal! John, you with us? Well, he's
all right. Got me, Jeff, or no?
Here we are. Yeah, you're kind of locked up, but we can hear you talking.
All right. Well, let's try to power through some other things happening in baseball, right?
We got to sell some merch first. Store.allcitynetwork.com.
Oh yeah, merch first. Absolutely. Oh, good. I get back just in time for the break. That's perfect.
I've got the wig column.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I wanted to go red, white, and blue for Labor Day. Felt patriotic and appropriate. So, but yours is red, white, and blue too. Yeah, yours is red, white, and blue too. So, fantastic. And the merch is at store.allcitynetwork.com. It's great stuff. We're very proud of it, obviously, or we wouldn't wear it all the time. So you should avail yourself to this. Hats are coming. We're still working on things like polo shirts, but apparently this creation of merchandise takes a little bit longer than we were aware of. So we're going to continue to work on that. You guys continue to go to store.allcitynetwork.com and get stuff like that Nolan Ryan shirt where he's punching Robin Ventura. It's a big seller. It's a popular shirt. It's a fun one to have. So store.allcitynetwork.com. That's the place to go to get our merchandise, and that way you can represent. And we can represent. Jeff mentioned already, we both mentioned a couple of times that the Astros lost today to the Angels. And lo and behold, Jeff, they lost to Soriano. I'll be darned. Who had, I think, an even better performance against the Astros than he did against the Rangers last outing. I saw one of the Angels writers tweet, this is his best start of the year. And of course, we thought the last one was pretty damn good.
Yeah, when he's on, he's good. And if he tossed 15 scoreless innings this week, he's got a chance to be the AL Player of the Week. In that game, late in the game, the left fielder for the Angels Ward
Yeah.
was trying to make a catch, and basically his face hit the out of town scoreboard, opened up a cut. He was bleeding fairly profusely. He had to be removed on a cart. He needed stitches after the game, but apparently is doing okay. And then Joe Adell, the I don't know, he plays center field sometimes, he plays right field. He basically blasted the ballpark and its design. And of course, he's not wrong. I mean, it's the goofiest stretch of outfield from the left field foul pole to center field in baseball. It should have never been built. At least they got rid of that stupid Towles Hill in center field. But this thing, how do you leave exposed metal? How in this day and age can you not figure out a way to cover that up? So anyway, apparently Taylor Ward's doing fine. He's having a hell of a year. I think he's got a 30 homer season. He is not a great outfielder, all right? And I've enjoyed watching him play bad outfield defense, but nobody deserves this. So, but yeah, that's a big win, and that's helping out the Rangers. It's helping out the Mariners, and thank God the Rangers are done with the Angels.
Yeah, no kidding. They're just a pesky team, and they're not easy to deal with. And you're right. I'll never forget the first time I was in then Minute Maid, or I guess maybe Enron, probably then Enron, whatever it was. And I'm sitting on the third base line, and I just looked out into right field and scanned over to center, and I thought, I like all this. And then I turned to left field, and I went, oh, that hurt. I mean, everything about it hurt my eyes. It hurt my feelings. I couldn't believe it. And it hasn't grown on me, not one bit.
Well,
now,
even straight away right field, the fence is like 6 feet tall. If you're 6 feet tall, you're as tall as the top of the fence.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, don't get me started. You've got me started.
I know.
Bulldozer.
Yeah, I did. I didn't mean to do that. Hey, the Astros next series, by the way, though, it doesn't start till Tuesday. But the Astros next series is against the Yankees. So when they get to town next weekend, the Astros, they could come limping.
Yeah, they have the crazy wraparound weekend series, so they've got one more to go against the Angels, and then the Yankees come to town, and it's the Yankees were playing the White Sox, and they lost today. They had to win in extra innings yesterday, but there's no love lost between the Yankees and the Astros for the 2017 ALCS and the Altuve home run against Chapman, who the Red Sox are extending. By the way, they've signed him to an extension for next year and an option for 27. But yeah, there's still some sore feelings, and Altuve winning the MVP that year over Judge in his rookie year, and the buzzer and the trash can and all that stuff.
And speaking of Judge, Aaron Judge hits his 43rd of the year today, the 358th of his career. That ties Yogi Berra for home runs on the Yankees all-time list, ties him for 5th place, and it places him behind, maybe you've heard of some of these guys, Jeff. Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig, and Joe DiMaggio are the only ones ahead of Aaron Judge on the Yankees all-time home run list. That is pretty amazing. It's I loved it that we were a part, you two, of like the Michael Jordan era or the Tiger Woods era, right? Now we're going to say that about the Aaron Judges and most likely, no doubt, the Shohei Ohtanis of the world, right? Like, we got to see these guys in their prime, and he is special, man.
Yeah, he should get DiMaggio here maybe this week. I mean, DiMaggio was only has 360, only hit 361 only, but he was not a prodigious power hitter like Ruth and Mantle and Gehrig would have had 500. He finished at 493 if not for that terrible disease that's now taken his name. But that's pretty elite company, and I don't know if he has a let's say he finishes with 50 this year. I mean, he's on pace to have over 500 by 3 more seasons. So we are seeing something pretty good here. You're right.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty amazing, and it's really fun to watch as long as it's not against your favorite team. But right now it's not. It's against the team you like the least, or at least starting Tuesday, it will be. So that's what's next for the Yankees and the Astros. How about Justin Verlander, 42 years and 192 days old, and he struck out 10 today as the Giants were whipping up on the Orioles last I saw. He's the first to do it at this age, or I should say he's the oldest to do it since Randy Johnson struck out at more than 10 at 44 years and 37 days. So now, and Randy Johnson did it 5 times post 42. So after his 42nd birthday, Randy Johnson struck out 10 or more 5 times. And now Justin Verlander has done it once. Nolan Ryan did it 34 times, Jeff. Like, call Nolan and tell him, hey, JV, he just struck out 10. He's 42. Nolan will go, oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
He's like, what, are you kidding me? I mean, 30, the same number he wore, by the way, 34.
Yeah.
But again, it just puts into perspective what an amazing, like, sometimes I think back, and I was here to cover most of that time that Nolan was here, and I think back and think, was it just like these accomplishments? No, he was still a great pitcher. You don't throw 2 no-hitters without still being a great pitcher. It wasn't just sort of like, well, it was inevitable. He was going to get the 5,000 strikeout and the 300th win. It was just a matter of where. No, it was not inevitable, and he had to work hard to do it, and he did it.
Well, and to your point, it was mentioned today during the broadcast, DeGrom is the first Rangers pitcher since Nolan Ryan, I think in 91, to have to make 25 starts with a WHIP under 1.
How about that? Yeah,
that tells you, Nolan is, a lot of people know, and some who don't know, Nolan used to walk a lot of guys. And while he's the all-time strikeout leader, he's also the all-time MLB leader in walks. But he cut down on those considerably later in his career. And but yeah, from 42 to, I mean, he still had 4 more years to go. But to strike out 10, it's a big deal when guys do it today who are 25 and 26. For him to do it 34 times after turning 42 is fantastic.
Yeah, and the other guys who have done it, we mentioned Randy Johnson, Gaylord Perry did it after the age of 42, and I think that Rick Hill did it a couple of years ago, back in 2023 or 22 maybe. And so anyway, you've got a few guys over the years who have done that, but again, that's such a huge accomplishment and an amazing thing.
And Verlander wants to pitch next year, so I'm sure this only feeds that hunger.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Phillies have signed Walker Buehler, who of course got waived by the Red Sox, and they sent him to their minor league affiliate. But I'm sure the thought is there that this is a reinforcement, Jeff, as again, they suffered their own significant loss to the rotation in Zach Wheeler, so now they've got Walker Buehler. So maybe there's, certainly that's something that's an experienced guy who would, certainly be a great reinforcement during playoffs, especially.
Yeah, and they also claimed from the Pirates, Tim Meza, and I saw this tweeted out. So the Phillies today claimed the 2 pitchers who saved the 2 most recent World Series games.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So Meza got the save in Game 4 last year, and then Buehler, who closed out the clincher for the Dodgers. So it's kind of crazy, these things, it's these little things happen in baseball all the time that are pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty amazing stuff, and that's it's all part of baseball, man. It's really fun. And again, today's a significant day in claiming guys too, because if you want to get them on your roster for the playoffs, you've got to have them by midnight tonight. Are those guys on their big league roster though?
Yeah, our old friend Isaiah Kiner-Falefa was also claimed today by the
yeah.
Blue Jays. So he's going back to the Blue Jays. Andrew Heaney cleared waivers, so he's now a free agent. He can be signed to the prorated league minimum, which at this rate is only, I don't know, 120,000. So maybe you see some late night wheeling and dealing by a team that wants to reinforce its rotation. Like, I don't know, maybe the Rangers, although I'm not too wild
Texas
about
Rangers, yeah. Just thinking out loud, a place where he had a great year last year, yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't been pitching well, but maybe a change of scenery, can do the trick.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to do it for us, and I appreciate Jeff and Kat, of course, fighting through the technical difficulties I've had. More than that, I appreciate you fighting through it. We are off tomorrow. We don't really want to be. We'd rather work because that's the kind of cool jobs we have. But they make us take it off, so we will. And then we'll be back on Tuesday. And we'll enjoy talking baseball with you on another edition of the DLLS Rangers podcast.